Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back. Or if you're new, hey, my name's Anita, and I'm coming at you today with a review of my currently inked pens for the month of June. Let's hop into it. All right. I almost feel like for me that June was a continuation of 30 inks, 30 days that I did in April because most of my pens were pens that I didn't get to use last month in May that I wanted to spend more time with. And then there were others that I wanted to write dry, but I didn't get to because life got in the way and I did 30 inks in 30 days. So I had a whole 30 extra pens to think about. Did I want to keep writing with them or did I want to just move on, I guess? So this month's pens were a combination of that. So let's go. First pen, and I'm trying to be organized, which I'm always organized in my head, well, almost always, but not always. It doesn't always translate onto paper. But yeah, this was supposed to look different, but this is what I'm doing, and at least it's all together. So that's okay. I know how to pivot like a pro. First is the TWSBI Eco. In transparent yellow, this pen has a broad nib and is inked with Diamine Fortunes Gold. Now, this pen was previously inked, oh my goodness, forever ago. I'll link my June currently inked pens up above in the card so y'all can check it out if you want to. But this pen was previously inked and I really didn't mind it and I wanted to write it dry, but that was a while ago and it didn't work out. So I put it back into my lineup and yeah, I'm glad I did. I wanted to spend more time with it and I did that. Now, TWSBIs are kind of considered, I guess I would say that they're considered an entry-level pen to the hobby. If you want to spend more than, say, less than $20 on a pen, TWSBIs are kind of a bump up. This model anyway, the Ecos start in about the mid $30 range and go up from there. There are less expensive Ecos, or rather less expensive TWSBIs. I don't have any of those yet, but I do have my eye on one particular model. The name escapes me. I haven't picked it up yet because that's just what I do. Anyway, this pen is inked with Fortunes Gold. It is a shimmer ink. I mean, can you just see all that shimmer sitting down there? It's a lot. Now, comfort of TWSBIs for me is about an 8. They're not uncomfortable. They're not my most comfortable, but I can definitely sit and write with them. I guess if I were changing a TWSBI, I would make them, for me, I'd make the barrel, or rather the grip section, just a little bit thicker because I can tend toward a death grip if I'm not paying attention. So the comfort level of this pen was an 8. The flow of ink, I think I would give that about a 7. The distribution of shimmer was inconsistent. And I don't think I had any problems with skipping. I'll insert the writing sample I did. It wasn't too bad. I can't really complain about it. Let me pull it up and then I know that will trigger memories. But I don't know. It's not my favorite color, but for a yellow, it isn't terrible to read, but I don't know. I have kind of mixed emotions about it. I'm glad I spent more time with it because I guess it was better than I thought it would be, but it's definitely not a favorite. I think if I were using this ink again, I would definitely draw up less of the shimmer. I'd leave it at the bottom of the bottle and I would mix in a little something darker to make it more legible for me. But it wasn't completely terrible. Visually, I like the pairing. I think they look nice together. So visually, I will give it an 8. Yeah, there were just some flow issues, particularly because of the shimmer. And yeah, it was a little suspect at times. It was not evenly distributed. That is the most accurate way I can state that. Next pen is the Lamy. Oops, I am awkward today. Let's see if we can get it together. This is just in the wrong spot. Let me move this over and give myself a little more space. Yeah, that's fine. Y'all can still see. Okay. Lamy Safari. This was one of my early rabbit hole pens, and I call it that because I picked up fountain pens, not expensive ones, definitely I would say under $40. I picked them up randomly over the years, but once I really got into the hobby about 2 years ago, this was one of those pens that I was like, when I was really into it and I was actually using them, not just buying them. And taking pictures of them. Yeah, so silly. Anyway, this is a special edition from 2023. The color is called Soft Rose. It has a stub nib, which I swapped out whatever it came with. I don't remember, but when I realized how easy it was to swap nibs, I quickly switched to a stub. And this pen is inked with Diamine Tranquility. This was in the 30 inks, 30 days that I did, and I think I got close to writing this one dry. Tranquility, I have to say, oh yeah, I re-inked it. It's not really my favorite shade. It's kind of a pinkish purple color, which I like in theory, but in reality, I like a more true pink or a more true purple or blurple. So the color is not my favorite, but the flow was so good that I wanted to keep writing with it. So, and the comfort of the pen, the Safari has a definite angle, so you get your fingers in the right place when you're writing. The comfort of the pen is also about an 8. For me, if it were a little bigger and they did that, I'd like it better, but it's not bad. I can write with it for about a page or so. The flow of ink was amazing. Now, Tranquility, let me look. I think it's a shimmer ink, but it is, but I didn't draw up any shimmer in the syringe when I refilled the ink cartridge. So that wasn't intentional, it just worked out that way. So there's really hardly any shimmer at all in the writing, and maybe that made the flow better. Maybe it would have had no effect, I don't know. But I'll tell you, I totally enjoyed writing with it. The flow without shimmer, I'll say little shimmer. The flow was a 9. It was really, really good. There was a bit of evaporation. I used that pen intermittently throughout the month, but this I wrote first, and I did a little ink swatch, and you can see when I started writing it was a bit darker, not quite as dark as down there, and it lightened up to the color you'd expect. But other than that, which, you know, isn't bad for a snap cap pen that costs, you know, between $20 and $30. I mean, rather 30 and 40. I guess it depends where you get it. It wasn't bad. And the flow was really good. And I enjoyed writing with it more than I thought I would. So this was a good time. This was a very good time. The visual pairing, I'll give it a 7. Because like I said, the color is not my favorite. It is a good match to the pen, but I don't know. I'm just really not a fan of the color. But the flow was really good without the shimmer in it. Like I said, that wasn't a plan. It just, I don't know, I guess it was serendipity. Because that totally worked out. Next is the Laban 325. And I put this in my 30 inks 30 days, not because I wanted to explore the pen more with a different ink. Yeah, that's why I did it, with the ink. I'd always put the same kind of inks in it for the most part, the same kind of dusty pinks and things. And I wanted something different. And I didn't tell my daughter that. She helped me pick most of the inks. She chose Diamine Weeping Willow. I didn't know how I'd feel about it. And I've had no luck with Weeping Willow in any pen until this one. It was wonderful. It was so nice. I was so surprised. So the comfort of the pen, I love this pen. And I don't know why this is my only Laban 325 because I love this pen. And for what you get, I think it's a very good value. Because I guess you can get this pen in the US for under $130. I haven't looked at the price recently since the tariff situation, but it was definitely under $130, and it could still be. I'll put a note in there if it's more. But the comfort, I love this pen. The comfort, I'll put it at a 9 because this was one of my best early pens, and I was like feeling a little anxious about spending that much money on a pen. I hadn't spent more than, say, $40 or $50 on a fountain pen, and this was more than that, but I totally loved it. The flow in here was really good. I did have a little bit of skipping. I think my tines are ever so slightly misaligned. I'm going to break out the loop. I haven't done it because I've been doing other things. But it's one of those things that it's like, it's in my head and it's not going to get out until I do it. So I don't even need to write it down. But it affected the flow. But the flow was good. So the skipping wasn't because of the flow. I think it's because of the nib. So I'm going to take a look at it and see if I can very gently nudge it back into place if that's what the issue is. The flow I will give a 9. I would give it a 10 if it were not for that. But I don't think it was the ink's fault. I think it's the nib of the pen. The visual pairing, totally not my favorite. It doesn't remotely match. And I just, yeah, mixed emotions when I pick it up, but it writes, it's such a good combination. The ink flow, that whole thing is so good that I like writing with it, but I don't visually like it. So I don't reach for it the way I would reach for it if I liked the way the two colors combined. That said, I didn't fill it. It was maybe a third of a converter or so, and it's about dry. So I'm glad I didn't waste any of the ink. It was a good time. I just didn't reach for it because I didn't like the way the ink and pen paired. So the visual pairing, I'm gonna give it a 4. I just didn't like it, and I still don't. But it was a good time when I wrote with it, and I just didn't think about what the pen looked like when I was writing with it. I think if it were a neutral pen, like the Snow or the Cambridge, I like both of those, I wouldn't care, especially the Cambridge. I think it would look really good in there, but it's okay. It was a good time once I got over myself and didn't look at the pink barrel. So that visually was not my ideal, but it was a very good time writing. Next pen, ooh, it's a TWSBI Eco in Caffe Bronze. I collect TWSBIs, but I also use the pens that I collect. There are very few pens that I have that I don't use all the time. Well, not all the time. I got a lot of pens, but there are very few that I wouldn't put in the rotation. I'll put it that way. I love TWSBIs. I love them. I love them. I love them. Anyway, this Caffe Bronze has a stub nib and is inked with Diamine. No, it's inked with Van Diemen's Nutmeg, and oh goodness, I just love the way these two pair up. They just look so pretty. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And I love a TWSBI stub nib. It just makes my heart happy. And it was just a pretty combination. It was a good time writing. It was just all around. It was good. Now, I just have a sample of nutmeg, so I didn't try to even fill up the barrel. I put very little ink in it, and I'm going to write it dry because I don't want to waste any of this good stuff. Oh my goodness. I totally loved this combination. I'm just pushing the ink down. Yeah, that's as far as it'll go. What a good time this was. Oh, I loved it. Okay, let's rate it. I'm just really getting lost in the moment. Comfort is my typical TWSBI, about an 8. The flow was beautiful. I don't remember any issues. Let me look at my writing sample. Y'all have already seen it up there. Flow was good. Oh, this pen did sit for several days because I tried to spread the love and I didn't always succeed. So as you can see, when I first, oh no, that's the wrong pen. Oh wow, that's really dark. Let me show y'all that real quick. The Laban, I didn't use that for several days because I didn't like the combination. Look how dark that is. There was so much evaporation. And it took a minute for the ink to lighten up, and I didn't mean to show y'all that. But when it did, it was great. But man, was that dark? That's crazy. Okay, that's how bad it was. It reminded me of nutmeg. Okay, where is nutmeg? Like, I'm having flashbacks to stuff my kids used to watch. I think it was Blue's Clues. Wasn't one of the little cartoon characters called Nutmeg? Here it is. Okay, here we go. There was very little evaporation. That's what I typically find with a TWSBI. They seal really well, in my experience. I don't know if yours will differ. It could. But the color was fairly consistent. There was very little evaporation. And I loved writing with this. Yeah, I don't remember how much I put in there. I know I didn't fill it because I wanted to use nutmeg in another pen. But I loved this. This was so good. And it just, be still my heart, literally. I loved it so much. Did I finish rating it? I'm all over the place, y'all. Okay. Flow, I would give it, it was a 10. It was really good. And the visual pairing, 10. 10 out of 10 for sure. It was so good. Oh, God, this was one of my favorite combinations. Oh, so good. Whew. Okay, moving on. Another TWSBI. This is the TWSBI Eco in mint blue. I think that's what it's called. It's different. I will have it on the screen. I always do that. This pen has a medium nib and is currently inked as it was previously with Diamine Mint Twist. Mint Twist is from the 2024 Inkvent calendar and the only 2024 Inkvent ink I have used so far. I need to do better. Yeah, and it's not happening in July. Spoiler. Anyway, this was an interesting combination. Visually, I absolutely love it. I didn't really fill this because I'm trying not to fill the TWSBIs because they hold a lot of ink. And I had previously inked this. I'll reference again my currently inked video from June because I can't remember when, but it was inked a while ago and I wanted to write it dry. And so I said, you know what, you haven't written it dry, write with it this month. So it was a lovely combination. I love the ink. Oh my goodness, visually makes my heart happy. It's such a pretty, it's a shimmer ink. It's so pretty. Or is it called something else? It could be called chameleon, y'all, because I don't know. They don't always seem chameleon-like to me. That's not it. Here it is. Yes, it's chameleon ink. There is shimmer. And I love this color. This is totally my jam. It's kind of like a tealy, minty color. It's so pretty. And let's take a look. Y'all can see the writing sample. And yeah, the shimmer, it's a thing, y'all. My TWSBI did not clog. And I don't think it skipped. But I don't know. I find with Diamine shimmer inks, it depends. You know, some of them are better than others. And it won't stop me from using them. It's just an observation. So my TWSBI Comfort, and oh gosh, I love this pen. Calm down, girl. Okay, Comfort is an 8. The Flow, I'll give it a 7. The Flow was, the ink itself was fine. The shimmer distribution was inconsistent. It was inconsistent as it was with the Diamine Fortunes Gold and the transparent yellow TWSBI. Inconsistent. I'd get a lot and then it would peter back and then it would there would be a lot again. I'm like, okay. And the visual pairing I absolutely love is a 10. Oh, I just love the way this looks. This makes my heart happy. And I will write it dry. Next pen is one I picked up in the early days, early whirly days. And I took it out of the package and never used it. I just kept it moving, picking up random pens and trying them out, seeing what I liked and what I didn't like. I just didn't get around to using this one because I like demonstrators. Yeah, I realized that. I like demonstrators. And the barrel, the grip section is kind of like a demonstrator, but the barrel is very solid. You cannot see through it, but that's okay. This is the Pilot Kakuno in lavender, I think, lavender and white. Someone had corrected me on the color, and I think I remembered it right. If I'm wrong, okay. If I'm wrong, I will have the name in the on the screen. Okay, that really kind of threw me off. Anyway, this pairing was amazing. It is inked with Diamine Jacaranda. Oh my gosh. I need a bottle of this. I love this ink. It's a standard ink. What you see is what you get. It shades beautifully. Look at that. I love it. And I loved it. I loved it in this pen. Now, this pen has a fine nib, which is part of the reason why I didn't use it earlier on. Because I was like, oh, it's fine. I got it because I like the color. I'm not crazy about fine nibs, so I'll get to it eventually. And then I never did. It was almost 2 years before I used this pen. But I now have a greater appreciation for fine nibs, and I loved writing with this. It was wonderful. I loved it. I think I need to write it dry. That's how much I loved it. I might even have had to add ink to it. I think I added a little bit. I did. Because I wrote it dry, and then I added a little more ink so I could finish the writing sample for y'all. Yes, this was a very good combination. The comfort of this pen is about an 8. It's about like a TWSBI to me, I would say. The flow was amazing. I would give the flow a 10. And the visual pairing is also a 10. Because I just love the way they look together. Look at that. It's so pretty. I love purple. I love purple, blurple, teals, turquoise. And I like all the colors, but especially my fountain pens. This was so good, and it can be like a good time for the low. All right, last pairing. Another one from a 30 Inks 30 Days, as was the Pilot Kakuno, is the Montegrappa Elmo in the colorway Stonewash Grey. This was an Atlas Stationers exclusive. This pen has a medium nib and is inked with Diamine Earl Grey. I love this pen. I love this pen. It's my one and only Montegrappa. And there will be others in my future when, I don't know, the spirit moves me, I guess. I have a lot of pens, and I can't spread the love the way I want to, but I really don't have pens that I say, no, I don't want that anymore, you know? So I'm slowing down on my purchases. Anyway, look at that swatch. It's really pretty. It's the first time I'm using this ink. But I have used the Montegrappa Elmo before. It's really pretty, and the writing was good. It was good. It is the priciest pen in this month's currently inked, and I don't know, it kind of acted like it too. It was a good time. The writing was good. The flow was good. Everything was good. I have nothing to complain about. It was just boringly good. Just a good time. So, comfort of this pen, I would give this about a 9. I kind of like it. I don't know. There's just a little something that I can't put my finger on. which keeps me from calling it a 10. I'm not quite sure what it is. It's just not quite right for me to say, oh my gosh, this is so great, I could write forever. No, I could write for a long time, but I wouldn't want to write forever. I'll call it a 9, which is still really, really good. The flow was a 10, and the visual pairing is also a 10, because look at this. It's just such a good time. That was good. I mean, I don't know what made me get Stonewash Grey. Probably because it's fairly neutral. Because there were colors offered also that weren't exclusive to Atlas, but I don't know. So the pairing was good, but just, you know, gray is not my favorite color to write with. It's almost like writing with, I don't know, blue ink, I guess. Like a blue Bic pen, ballpoint. I don't know. It's just there. But the pen is just, I just need a more exciting ink. And I feel like I could use anything, but Camille chose that ink and she made it match. I hadn't used it before, so I just went with it. So that was this month's currently inked and pairings. I would say that my favorite pairing of the month, oh yeah, visually that was good. The one that just really kind of lit me up, I guess y'all kind of could see that, right? Was this one. I really loved this. Oh my goodness, this was so good. And also the Pilot Kakuno. These both were really good writers. I didn't have any skipping, any kind of performance issues with these pairings at all. And I'm not crazy about it visually, but this was another good time. Just not a big fan of that color of ink. And, oh, I love this pen. This was a good time too. But I don't know. I liked it, but the color was just kind of like writing with, I don't know, like a blue gel pen or something. It's not the most exciting thing, but I know I could be more lit up about it with a different color ink. But these two were definitely my happiest combinations. And there were no performance issues at all. So yeah, I think it was a good month. I enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to July. I've already got it planned out and I've got lots of stuff coming your way. I have, oh my goodness. I have some stuff, y'all. You know Prime Day is coming? Prime Day is, oh gosh, is it the 8th to the 10th of July on Amazon? I forget. It's usually like right at the beginning of the month. I'll have the dates on the screen. So yeah, Prime Day is coming, and I like to try to pick up something that I've been wanting, but I just haven't pulled the trigger on it because the price doesn't get me. It's like, get me to pull the trigger. Yeah, the price doesn't do it. I'm like, yeah, it's not bad, but maybe it'll be better. So that's what Prime Day is for me, to maybe pull the trigger on something that I have sitting in the cart or sitting on a wish list. So I'm going to talk about the things that I absolutely have loved on Amazon, and maybe I can pick up something new to go along with my little collection of loves from Amazon. A video like that is coming very soon. My currently inked for July is coming, and then my favorites for the first half of the year is also on the way. So thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.